during a program, he was talking, and he made a few allegations towards Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher, and also intimated that Jackson State paid Travis Hunter $1 million to come to Jackson State. So when you guys heard what Nick Saban said, and also the response from Jimbo Fisher and Deion, Coach Prime Sanders, what were your thoughts?
That privilege, that it sucks when that privilege don't work, big dog. That's the first thing I thought. It sucks when that privilege don't work. And this even goes for my motherfucking Texas Longhorns, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a avid Texas Longhorn fan, but we all know at the end of the day, these white colleges didn't want our black players playing for them years ago. And now all of a sudden, when we see, damn, these niggas got the juice. These niggas is fast. These niggas is athletic. These niggas can do a lot of things to put my program up here as opposed to down here. I want that nigga playing for me. You see what I'm saying? And it just goes to show that when you don't get your way, especially with the NIL and all of this other stuff that's going on, when you don't get your way, it's a big, big problem. And that goes for a lot of colleges, because I know that young man had a lot of colleges on his list, and he chose to go to a HBCU. And this is something, if there are any young brothers that are out here playing this game, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be,
Darts, golf,
I
volleyball.
don't give a fuck what sport it is. Go to an HBCU, because when your
Preferably
mama,
Mississippi Valley State University.
when your mama,
man right
when
here.
your daddy, when your grandmama, when your granddaddy, when your great grandma, when your great granddad, I don't give a fuck who it was, dating back to years ago, they did not want you, your complexion, playing for their school because you were too dark. You didn't fit the narrative. You didn't fit the description, right? You had to go to that HBCU. And now that those HBCUs have star talent at the coaching position, and they can persuade these kids to come and play for that program, and because we have the NIL where you can get paid whether you play for the most prestigious program or you play for the lowest program, you still can damn near get paid the same. You know what I'm saying? Why would you go play for Alabama when you can go play for Jackson State? You ain't got to worry about no injuries. You just gonna shine in the fucking sweat. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of motherfuckers can't guard you, right? And you can shut down a lot of other motherfuckers. Go play for the sweat. Fuck all the other shit.
I think a good way of summing this up is that, in relation to everything that's being said, for a lot of these young black hopefuls and these black kids getting ready to go off to college, as they say, you are your ancestors' wildest dream. And the idea of the system being upset, these same young black youth going on to these predominantly white institutes and leaving those institutes they were used to be bound for and coming to black institutions is their wildest nightmare. They don't want the status quo of taking the cream of the crop per se in the black community and letting them not go to their programs, their institutes, and instead coming back and serving their own communities. Like that upsets the status quo to a point that I can understand it will make a particular kind of white person or a particular kind of person in this situation. Not saying they're racist, not saying Nick Saban is racist, but I'm sure this is enough to make them steaming mad. And honestly, his white tears, I'm sure they taste delicious right now. Fuck this guy. That's all I got to say about it.
I'll say this before I let anybody else speak. I just feel like it's real sad amongst somebody as prestigious as Nick Saban. You're supposed to be this top tier coach. You're supposed to have this top tier program. You can coach anybody up to be star talent level. You shouldn't need the top recruit in the fucking nation to make your program better, because you can take a 4 or a 3-star recruit and turn them into a 5-star recruit, right? I just feel like it's BS, especially when we see all these commercials that he's done with Deion and all this other shit. I feel like it's so BS for him to come out and single out these programs because he didn't get his way. It's very, 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 very unfair. And it's very messed up for him to come out here and say these things, because who's to say that the NCAA didn't double down on Deion, not Texas A&M, because we already know they're gonna whitewash the shit that happens with the white motherfuckers. Who's to say that they didn't double down on Deion and then cancel his whole program because of what Nick Saban said? So I feel like that whole overall piece was very, very BS, and it was very low. And I don't blame Deion. And not only do I not blame Deion, I don't blame fucking Jimbo Fisher and whoever else Nick Saban called out. I don't blame them for not accepting that apology, because I feel like he was forced to put that apology out because he knew he was wrong for the shit that he said. So that's what I got to say. Now go ahead and defend your boy.
I ain't gonna defend him. No, I mean, I was disappointed. I heard everything that transpired. I watched Deion talk about it. I saw Jimbo emotional talking about it. He looked really upset. But I think it's sad. We've won our fair share of championships, and I think Nick Saban, I'm not giving him an excuse. I think he's just trying to basically get his boosters to give him more fun so he can ultimately get better recruits at the end of the day. But throwing people under the bus is never the way. I hate when people throw people under the bus. In my personal life, at my job, I've dealt with people who throw people under the bus. So to me, I was definitely disappointed in Nick Saban. I think he's being a baby, about the whole situation. And just because the chips don't fall your way and somebody else has a better recruiting class than you do, or somebody gets a player that you may have wanted and you're questioning why they got that player. I mean, ultimately, you pay players too. I know they pay players at Alabama. Come on, I'm not stupid. Like at the end of the day, and they are all these colleges pay these top athletes. We be kidding ourselves to think that they're not paying some of these guys. Maybe Deion, maybe Deion didn't. Maybe Deion got money. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm just
coming
saying,
out of his own pocket, like
yeah. I'm just saying, but I mean, I don't think that they're paying players, of course, at the HBCUs, but all of these D1 schools, the top Power 5 schools we know they're paying players. So I mean, and so Nick Saban, that was trash at the end of the day. He's the coach of my favorite college football team, but it was trash. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. If people expect me to come defend them just because I rock with Alabama, joke's on you, motherfucker. At the end of the day, haha.
My question is, why would you be so happy to lose? Why would you be so happy to lose a recruit to Clemson, a team that has beaten you in the big dance, in the big game, but you upset because you lose a top recruit to a HBCU? That's my biggest question.
I don't think he was upset. I think he threw Deion in there because he knows that Deion has that ability to pull in those top recruits. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has that star power to get those guys, and I think he feels threatened in a way by a coach of Deion's stature as far as his star power. You know what I'm saying? And so he threw Deion in there with Jimbo. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, just to pull him in there to throw shots at him.
But see, I'm already. You already know I'm biased anyway. But the thing about it though is Jimbo. To me, Jimbo was the target. Deion was just
he was just an innocent bystander. Yeah, he was just an innocent bystander. He just got astray.
Because y'all think about this though. Think about how absurd. Think about how absurd this is. You had the number 2 recruiting class in America, and you come out complaining and bitching and talking about Jimbo Fisher. They had the number 1 recruiting class. They paid everybody that signed there, but oh no, we don't pay We don't pay anybody here at Alabama. We do things the right way. Nigga, please. Come on now. Everybody know. If you probably go to Brian Denny Stadium, it probably got a fleet of all the Chargers and Challengers that you could ever want. But this is the
Hellcat, scat pack. Fuck you talking
but this is the thing though. And Saban really has to be very careful. He has to be very careful and tread lightly because if you look at how Jimbo reacted, Jimbo was hot as fish grease. But the other thing that well, I mean, that a lot of people know if you follow college football, that at one point in time, Jimbo Fisher was on the staff with Nick Saban.
Nick
So
Saban.
guess what? He know how
He knows
Saban
his
get down.
yeah. He knows
He
dirt.
know he knows where the bodies are buried. And he alluded to that if you look at his response. He was like, everybody has lauded him up or raised him up to be this godlike figure, to be this football czar. But what he say? If you do a little digging in his history, you'll see how he really gets down. So he ain't really come out and tell you, hey man, buddy here, he cheating. He just creaked the door open. He had a little crease, just a little crease there. But the thing, and then introducing the Dion part, I'm glad Dion responded how he responded because he was like, no, I don't need no private conversation. You didn't say it out. I mean, you didn't bring us out here. You didn't pull us out here into it privately. So no, if we gonna talk publicly. It ain't gonna be one of them situations where people like to show out in public, but then call you back. Hey man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, no. If you did it in public, you talked about me in public. I need you to apologize. Apologize in public because there is no way that rumor has been circulating around ever since Hunter signed with Jackson State, and a lot of it has really been sour grapes from Florida State. Florida State alums and Florida State boosters because he spurned Florida State to go to Jackson State, and it speaks to people's arrogance. They figure like, look at this little Jackson State, this little HBCU. There's no way in the world this top-rated five-star player would want to go to Jackson State because hey, they're poor. They're in Mississippi. They're black. Blah blah blah. We're Florida State. We have money. We have facilities. We have a name. We got blah. Sometimes folks don't care about that. You got some people out here that are just different. You got some people out here that just march to the beat of a different drummer. Everybody don't want to go to Florida State. Everybody don't want to go to Alabama. Everybody don't want to go to Clemson. Some people want to blaze their own trail. They don't want to follow behind everybody else. They want to do something for themselves. Think about it. If I'm a DB, a five-star DB, and I have the opportunity to get coached by the greatest DB who ever laced them up, and then I get to go to a HBCU that's surrounded by my people. Mm. I went to homecoming. That was my visit. So I went to homecoming. Man, I see all this black excellence around here.
that
I done probably
booty.
went to the Greek show. I see these folks stepping. I
Man.
see these girls around here looking
I see
all
that
nice.
booty jiggling when they twerk into that.
I'm like, so man, I feel home. I feel at home. I feel at home here, man. This is where I really want to go. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna keep it real. If we are really being honest, I bet you there are a lot more athletes that really want to go to a HBCU, but there are people in their head saying, hey, you ain't gonna go to the pros from there. They ain't got the resources, they ain't got this, they ain't got that. Whether it be their high school coach, whether it be their friends, whether it be their parents that are trying to dissuade them from going where they actually really want to go where they will really fit in. But And all in all, I just thought this is a case of Nick Saban and sour grapes.
What's going on, YouTube family? It's your boy Reeves. And if you like what you saw today and you would like to see more content from the They Gon' Feel Me podcast, click on this video over here. Now, peace.